How to Train Your Dragon is the animated film from DreamWorks. It's directed by both directors, Chris Saunders and of course Dean DeBlois. And this is a film request by my good friend and subscriber, Harry Thomas Pictures, aka Harry Thomas. So Harry, thank you so much for your request. Of course, I'm here to review How to Train Your Dragon, the first one, and I might try and cover the sequels, maybe after the remake, or maybe I'll wait till the second live action remake of How to Train Your Dragon 2. We'll get to that at some point, but that being said, Harry, I hope you enjoy my review of How to Train Your Dragon 2010, the animated version. The story falls centered around this young Viking named Hiccup, who is befriends with this Night Fury dragon who names him Toothless. Unable to kill him, he decides to help him instead. Along the way, he discovers that there's more to that than the dragons versus the Vikings. There's more to them in their conflict. So, How to Train a Dragon. This film came out 15 years ago. It's a little bit late as well, but I thought I might as well just cover it since the live action remake is coming out this week coming up. So, might as well just cover this one just to get out of the way. So, How to Train a Dragon. So, I did watch this quite recently. I would say for the most part, after watching this film, I would say it still holds up very well. After 15 years later, it still holds up pretty good for the most part. I think it holds up in terms of the story, the animation, the characters, the themes, the emotions, just everything above. I think it's all still top notch. It's definitely damn near perfection. I would say that it's damn near perfection. I'll just say that in the most pleasant way. I've got to say this now, the animation here is absolutely beautiful. I think how they handled the animation here with the island of Berk and also the land, the atmosphere, the grass, the trees, the ocean, even the humans, even though they do look a bit cartoony a little bit, but it's come out 2010, so the animation is kind of like a little bit outdated, but majority of it, the animation still holds up quite well, and I think it still delivers some good animation quality still there. And of course, the sequels does improve upon when the animation gets better, when it's the different animation computer techniques, whatever. But this animation still holds up very well. As far as the characters, like Hiccup, voiced by Jay Baruchel, I pronounced the actor's name correctly, he was actually really good. I really like Hiccup. He's very likable, but he's kind of a nerdy, awkward lead character, but he's still likable in a certain way. He's trying to impress his father and everyone in the village that he can be able to kill a dragon. So he befriends with this Night Fury dragon named Toothless, or he named him Toothless because basically he has no teeth, but he show him teeth. That's why they call him Toothless. That's kind of a nice name. But when he does become friends with Toothless, and the bond between them is just incredible to watch. You just felt their friendship. The moment they meet, you knew they're going to be good friends or they'll become great BFFs, more like. You do see that there. It does give a good way for the sequels to come along and see their friendship grew and grew. And of course, Toothless is just adorable. He's just a cute dragon. I just can't help but smile and see him. Every time I see him, I just go, that little guy, big guy. But he does have some funny moments, and you see them bouncing off one another. First, Toothless doesn't seem to interest in Hiccup, but along the way, the moment Hiccup puts his hands out, and of course, Toothless doesn't kind of know when to get touched, but then Hiccup looks away and still putting his hand out. Until when Toothless put his hand between it, you can totally see that there. It's just amazing. Just looks, the score as well. Just a beautiful friendship there. Of course, you do have other set of characters, and of course, all these other dragons have different personalities, and all these different types of dragons you do see do get their moments. They're not in the movie that much. It's the strong point is Hiccup and Toothless, but we do see other dragons and other personalities. Yeah, they're there. They're really good. Of course, you do introduce some other characters like Astrid, voiced by America Ferrera. She's actually quite good. She's not the most, developed character, but she does have a personality. She does have some, moments of shine, and does have a moment that she's not interested in Hiccup because of his, absence and the way he's been a coward. Start to see more of the characters. You knew at one point they're going to be in love in the moment, just right at the end by the film, or just near by the climax of the movie. You knew they both are going to be together, especially when we get to the sequels. We'll cover that in a moment. But Astrid's a fun character. She's a fun female character to have in this franchise as a whole. Of course, you've got other characters like voices by Christopher Mintz-Plasse, Jonah Hill, TJ Miller, and even Kristen Wiig. Just, they're just side characters, but they do have their moments to shine. You have Craig Ferguson as, I think it's the character's name, I can't remember. The Scottish guy, basically he's the kind of a blacksmith of the Vikings, basically trying to build weapons, and also a trainee of the young Vikings to Hiccup, Ashton, and a few other characters in the film. I do like Craig Ferguson's voice. He sounded, just into it. He's just having fun. The fun dialogue he gives. Just everything about that character just works so well. Of course, you have Gerard Butler's character, Stoic. Stoic is basically Hiccup's father and also the king of the Vikings. He's basically the leader of that tribe. Stoic, he's not like the typical generic grumpy dad who's just doesn't want Hiccup to be in the Viking. He just kind of worries that he doesn't want to lose him, but also he tries to encourage his son, he has to take on these dragons, even though Hiccup couldn't because he doesn't have the guts to do it. But I do like his character, and you don't get much father-son time in the movie, but you do get some glimpse of their relationship. But I enjoyed the film, you do get that emotional weight there, and I do applaud it. And as far as some fun sequences, like there's not much big action despite the climax of the film, but you do get some fun, decent moments with the Vikings fighting the dragons in the opening, and the test flight sequence is a lot of fun. Basically, Hiccup's trying to test fly on Toothless when he flies around over the Isle of Berk. It's just, holy crap, amazing. Just, it just looks so beautiful to look at. The animation with the way the camera moves, the certain angles, and of course, this film came out during the time when 3D at its peak after post-Avatar, with the whole 3D sequences. And it looks actually beautiful. I wish I saw it in 3D back like 15 years ago. I would have saw it in 3D. It looked beautiful on the big screen. And of course, the song scores by John Powell. Oh, music to my fucking ears. It's beautiful. Especially the How to Train Your Dragon score, especially the whole da 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 da. Oh, music to my ears. Every time I hear that, I thought How to Train Your Dragon. You do get some nice emotional moments, some emotional beats to the film. It does add some heart to it. So it's not a typical generic kids movie. Well, it is a kids film, but it appeals to a wider audience as well. Because you can tell that how critically acclaimed it is. Well, yes, kids will have fun with it. They just want to see the dragons and just see some fun aspects. But it dives into the heart to it. It's basically the heart and soul that definitely belongs to both Hiccup and Toothless, and the world of Isle of Berk, and also the world of How to Train Your Dragon. It just gives you that excitement, which it does brought that magical feel to it. So that is saying something a lot. And as far as the villain, well, there's not much of a villain. The only I have to face is the big giant dragon. I can't remember what the dragon's called, but basically it's the queen, like a queen of the dragons. Basically, he's in control of all these other dragons to deliver sheep and all their stores from the Vikings from the Isle of Berk and try and bring it to him. Instead of the dragons eating it, they give it to the queen. So basically it's like their queen, like the queen hives or the beehive type of thing. You do get that sense of, okay, what's going on behind the scenes. You do get that sense of urgency that something's not right. The dragons are afraid, they're not threatening, they're just being controlled by this queen of theirs. So you do get some kind of idea, even though it's not the most threatening enemy, but you do get a sense of where these characters are. So you do get that great stuff. And far from anything else from How to Train Your Dragon, I can't think of anything else about the animation. All I can think of, it still holds up very well. I still consider it as still one of DreamWorks' best films, up there with the first Shrek or Shrek 2 and a few other great DreamWorks animation films. I think it's up there, one of the best. And I will cover the sequels. I know the sequels maybe just as good or maybe not as great as the first, but get to them around the time. But as far as this first movie goes, this is probably my favourite in the trilogy because of how great it is and seeing these characters and introducing them to the general audiences. I'm kind of curious to see how the live action remake will do, but I don't think it'll touch upon this. But again, we'll wait and see. By the end, How to Train Your Dragon still holds up very well. I really like this movie. I think it's still considered as the best DreamWorks movie ever made. And I will always watch this and have a great time. And I'll definitely would watch this and the sequels as well. I'm going to give How to Train Your Dragon 2010 a solid A. I want to say a special thank you towards Harry Thomas Pictures. Harry, thank you so much for your request. Thank you so much, man, and thank you for being my subscriber and a friend. I really appreciate that. And of course, hope you enjoyed my review. And of course, comment down below and tell me, you guys, what do you think of How to Train Your Dragon? Do you love it? Do you like it? Do you think it's alright? Do you hate it? Whatever the case is, and of course, are you interested to see the live action remake or are you not interested? Comment down below, civilly please. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Until next time, see ya.